The June 2024 Nintendo Direct was full of a lot of surprises, including the addition of an awesome shooter to Nintendo's retro lineup of games. Of course, that's Perfect Dark, and now it's a part of the Nintendo 64 library on the Nintendo Switch via the 17 Mature app in the West and the 18 Plus N64 app in Japan. Now, while the versions here by and large are the same, there are a few differences that fans can check out right now on the apps. But if you can't be bothered to do that, we're here to let you know some of these, as well as give you a look at some of the differences between the physical N64 packaging and carts. Let's get into it. Danny from the Famicast here. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do, consider subbing, all that type of stuff. Sound off in the comments down below, and we may read it out on our bi-weekly show called the Famicast. Of course, you can find a written version of this over on our website, thefamicast.com. Now today though, we're taking a look at some regional differences between the Japanese and North American versions of Perfect Dark in this edition of Famicast Collector's Corner. Outside of the language differences, the boot sequence between both versions of the game is slightly different. Well, actually, quite different. You'll notice that the Japanese version features the Nintendo 64 logo turning like this deep red color, followed by a red startup screen and the game title in Japanese. Now, in addition to this, the game still retains the English spoken dialogue. However, there are Japanese subtitles on the screen when characters are speaking. Of course, the title screen in the English language version of the game sees the Nintendo 64 logo turn this metallic blue color, followed by the Perfect Dark logo appearing on the screen. Although you don't really see it a whole lot throughout the game, there are times when you will be able to see Joanna's face. It's interesting to note that it is completely different depending on which version of the game that you're playing. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably pretty familiar with Dark's face in the English language speaking versions, but the face texture found in the Japanese version is completely different. And in my opinion, I think it just looks a lot better. It's more detailed, a little bit more lifelike, and it's a little bit more in line with the character model that was used like on the box and other promotional materials. It's a really cool difference that was added into the Japanese version, and I think it's, well, if you're checking it out here, thank you, but it's something that you can actually check out on the Japanese Nintendo 64 app too, so I would suggest doing that if you can. The game plays and looks identically regardless of which version you're playing. One thing you'll notice right off the bat is the lack of blood in the Japanese version. It's still there to some extent, but unlike the Western release, you won't find blood splatters on walls or the floor or blood like pooling on dead characters or anything like that. So it's a little bit different. There is some blood, but not as much. Also, the bodies disappear almost immediately in the Japanese version, while they definitely stick around a lot longer in the other versions of the game. Now, I'm kind of still working my way through the game again with this release on the Switch, but it's been said that the Japanese version is actually a little bit easier than what was released in the West. While I really can't confirm this for myself, I've only played through the game in English a long time ago, but the Cutting Room Floor website reports that there are more shields available in the perfect agent difficulty setting, so that's a thing. On top of that, the combat knife is actually nowhere to be found in the Japanese version of the game as well. I'm not sure exactly why, and I haven't been able to find any official reason for this either. While I don't have a PAL version of the game for even more comparison, I do have the Japanese and North American copy of the game. Now, as you can see, both versions are drastically different. The Japanese version has like this red and black kind of motif with the woman sitting on a sofa clutching a gun. Now, as many of you are well aware, the North American box features a close-up of Joanna's face while holding a pistol with the game logo in the upper part of the box. Now, the carts here also mirror the respective box arts, as do the instruction manuals. Now, it should be noted that there are actually two SKUs for Perfect Dark in Japan. The one I have, and then this other one that was actually packaged with the expansion pack. Now, that one actually has two boxes. One that's like an outer box featuring this red and black artwork, and then like an inner box that has like a metallic look with the game logo and stuff. I unfortunately don't have that one, so I can't really show it off here. But anyway, for now, I'll go ahead and show you guys a couple more shots of the packaging and all that type of stuff, and then I'm going to follow that up with some more just footage of what we talked about so you can see it without me talking. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, I'm sure this isn't the first video you'll find on this topic, and I'm sure it won't be the last. I mean, for me, it's always interesting to take a look at regional differences like this when it comes to in-game content as well as physical differences between releases. I really absolutely love this Japanese box art. It's just a really cool artistic take on the game that just looks really classy. But let's go ahead and turn things over to you guys. What do you think about these regional differences here in Perfect Dark? Now, which version or versions of the game do you own? Which box art do you prefer for the game? Sound off in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you guys for checking out this video and making it this far. If you enjoyed this look at the game's regional differences, feel free to drop this one a like. Also consider subbing to the channel. We've got longer form discussions on our bi-weekly podcast and tons of other videos for reviews, looks at retro games, Japanese exclusives, and a whole lot more. Again, this is Danny from the Famicast. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.